So I'm here with the ubiquitous Warren Whitlock. How are you today, Warren?
Ubiquitous. Wow. That's quite an introduction. Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So we're going to start with the end. We're almost coming to the end of Blog World 2010. What did you think of this year's conference?
I think it's bigger and better and a wonderful time. It is absolutely the best networking event for anybody doing a blogger or creating any kind of content, especially online. You just have to be here. The networking is outstanding.
What do you think that the takeaway is from this conference? I've talked to a few people. I've talked to them. I've asked them about what they thought was the new big thing, the next level in this new media, social media marketing. I have an idea of what it is, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Well, I think it's an ongoing thing that's been changing, and we're going back to the roots of what human-to-human communication is. Human-to-human communication is two-way. It's not broadcasting a message. So 20th century was wonderful for broadcasting a message. 21st century, we're going to spend as much time as we did in the 20th century learning how to have a two-way conversation like you and I are having now.
So part of what I do is try to evangelize for people of midlife, of which we are both part of that, I think, elite team. I think we're both at a time of life.
We're at a younger midlife.
Yes, absolutely. But I think that some of this social networking, I think people think it's just for kids only. Tell my audience why it's not.
Well, for one, we're going to be around for a lot longer, okay? So, I'm 55 years young. I'm not going to, there's still a lot more left to go. I'm not going to sit in a rocker and wait to die. I'm certainly not waiting to get out in an RV and go visit grandchildren. I want to keep doing what I'm doing for some time. And, I happen to really enjoy what I do. I have a lot of flexibility and freedom in my lifestyle. The technology makes that possible. But if you think you've been around, doing the same thing for 20, 30 years, we were all taught, do that, get the gold watch, get the 401k. Even if your 401k hasn't become a 104k in the last couple of years, you really got to say, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? And you got to get with the technology. If you're not pushing forward, change is going to come and pass you by.
So what would you recommend someone do? Where would someone jump into the technology? There's so many things nowadays for the really, really unenlightened. Where would they go first?
Well, it's just like, it used to be you really needed to learn how to type or keyboard to get email to work, or, you had to get a computer and plug it in and learn all that. I used to talk to people all the time and said, I'm never going to put a computer on my desk. A cell phone, I don't need to carry a cell phone with me. I've been through those kind of things before. And, calculator. My favorite was, we need to teach kids how to count and how to do math without a calculator, because there may someday not be calculator. Well, we've all lived long enough to find out that this technology is pretty much here to stay. So if you're not doing some of it, the nice thing about today's technology is you can just pick it up and use it. If you know how to type, you can type a message on Facebook the same way you would on regular email. And if you know how to talk, you can talk into a microphone and do this, or you can have a radio show if you know how to use a telephone. All of the media is now something you can create, and so you can be the media instead of watch the media.
So how do you address, in a sense, I feel, and this is a little bit off topic, but that I think that the advertisers really have made us somewhat invisible, and I think that we have more, and it's been proven that we have more money than our kids. I'm the one who buys my children their plane tickets and their things right now, because the economy is such that they don't necessarily have the ability to have the kind of jobs that I had certainly out of college and so on. So,
Right. I don't know how universally true that is, but a couple of years ago I saw a stat that said that baby boomers were 20% of the population, 70% of the wealth, and that most of what was left was our parents. I think that's going to continue to be true. We've changed everything in the last 50 years. And we crowded the hospitals. We were the youth movement. We were the groovies. We were the hippies. We were the people against the war, the yuppies. We were the disco generation, the soccer moms. We've had a couple of baby boomer presidents, and we are changing everything. The difference is now we have money, and as a group, there's plenty of us that got our 401ks into 104k, but plenty of us that have hurting right now. But basically, you could start off now. I know that when I was 20, I could go out and study in college, get a degree, go and do something. I was taught to do that till I retired, but I also know that I could start right now. You could start something at 50 and get trained, and even if it takes you till 55, you still got a 20-year career to do that with. So don't hold back. Go ahead and go for it. How old are you going to be if you don't do it? Same.
So what's next for you?
More of the same. I help thought leaders and experts. There's a lot of people out there who have spent 10, 15, 30, 40 years doing something, and now they're ready to get back and do it in a different way. A lot of people realizing that they don't need to get the job and do the same thing all the time. A lot of people who have made some money doing one thing and want to give back. Whatever your reason, now it's time to go out and plan your life and do your life the way you want to. I'm one of the people that can help, because in many cases, a person that's in this position has more knowledge than the people coming up. And I don't think the schooling has gotten any better. Yeah, sure, they can play with the gadgets and video games better, those kids, but they really don't. They don't have anything honest and ability to work. You're really at the prime of life now, where you can get more done. You have more resources. You have more experience. And, I think our bodies are going to hold up a lot better than our parents or our grandparents. And we just got to plan on doing whatever it is we have to do. And without, they're telling kids today, the message of the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss was, don't wait till you retire. You can have a good life now. He said that at 29. And his message is just as appropriate to somebody who's 59. Don't wait to retire, because retire means go off alone to die. It's a complete farce that 65 is a retirement age. Plan on being around, and as long as your body holds up and you don't fall apart. It's what I've done. I've gotten healthier. I'm still big slob that I've always been, but I'm a lot healthier than I was a few years ago. And I intend to keep working on that, because for all I know, medical science is going to keep me alive another 50, 60, 70 years. I better take care of what I got. And live out every day. There's a verse from the Garden of Eden story about okay, Adam, you've got to work every day of your life. There's no clause in there, and if you get it down right, you can have 30 years in a Winnebago. It's like you're supposed to work every day of your life. But work to me is the same as play. If you can tell the difference between work and play, you're not doing one of them right. So, find something that you get joy and passion and that you contribute, and then go do it full bore.
That's great advice. Thank you, Warren, for your time. It was awesome seeing you again. And this will be on Life After Kids with Marla Schulman. And thanks again, Warren Whitlock.
Thank you, Marla.
And how do we find you on the internet?
Bestsellerauthors.com.
Bestsellerauthors.com, Warren Whitlock. And this is Marla Schulman for Mingle Media TV.